Good morning, friends on Zoom and YouTube. We will begin our devotional in just a few moments. Good morning, friends on Zoom and YouTube. Good morning, friends on Facebook. We will begin our daily devotional in just a few moments. Good morning and welcome, fellow pilgrims and friends and neighbors. I'm coming to you live from Ojai, California. My name is Patrick Horn, and this is the daily devotional from Pilgrim Congregational Church. This week we are looking at John chapter 1, verses 1 through 18. And I want us to focus on the first 5 verses of chapter 1 of the Gospel of John this morning, and I'll offer a few reflections and close us with a prayer. So this is John chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Okay, so these verses are a very powerful foundation for what we call the doctrine of the Trinity. It's important to recognize, I think, that the practice of following Jesus comes before the development of doctrine. So doctrine is something that helps us, that guides us, but it's important to remember that action comes first. Following Christ comes first. And what John the evangelist is trying to do here is to express the distinctiveness of Jesus. This is quite a challenge because he's trying to say something that is really a mystery. So I think it's important as we read this first chapter to understand and accept these words as mystery, because he's trying to express how Jesus the Christ exists outside of the bounds of time and history. And so even the first words of this chapter sound very much like Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, right? In the beginning. And I think that's intentional. It's to convey the sacredness and the eternal character of these words. The evangelist John here is trying to express that Jesus the Christ was fully human and fully divine. And the way that he does that is by using a term that in the Greek was logos. And logos was a term that was familiar to both Jews and Greeks. And it does seem as if the evangelist is using the term for his own purposes here to try to express the fact that Jesus, the Christ, is eternal and yet also came to earth in the form of Jesus, the man, the human being. So this really forms the foundation of the mystery of the Trinity, which is that that Jesus is eternal, and that there's no distinction between Jesus, the Christ, and God the Father, except that Jesus is not like a second God. So the main point was to try to express that Jesus and God are one, that Jesus is the Christ, the anointed one, the one who reveals God the Father. And so Jesus and God are one, and yet Jesus is fully human. So I think it's important not to fall for any explanations of that. It is supposed to be a mystery. It's not something that we can fully grasp or understand. But the way that we respond to it is by living into it, by following Jesus the Christ. That's the proper response. That is to fall on our knees and to follow Jesus the Christ, not with some sort of explanation that will hold it all together. This really is supposed to be the expression of a mystery. And mystery, I think, is such a fundamental part of our lives as followers of Christ, and our willingness to embrace that mystery will go a long way towards our own growth and maturity as followers. Let's close with this word of prayer from Saint Augustine from the 4th century. Look upon us, O Lord, and let all the darkness of our souls vanish before the beams of thy brightness. Fill us with holy love, and open to us the treasures of thy wisdom. All our desire is known unto thee. Therefore, perfect what thou hast begun, and what thy Spirit has awakened us to ask in prayer. We seek thy face. Turn thy face unto us and show us thy glory. Then shall all our longing be satisfied, and our peace shall be perfect. Amen. Thank you for joining me this morning from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.